All right, let's go out to Trevor in Squirrel Hill. How you doing, Trevor? Trevor, turn your TV down.
Yeah.
What's up? Hey, Trevor.
Turn the TV down. Hit it. Put it on mute, Trevor,
Mute.
please. I'm begging you.
Put it on mute. Hang on, but put it on mute.
Oh.
Okay, sorry about that. I got it on mute.
He told us to hang on for a second.
Hill, and I'm talking about the Steelers.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
And what I'm talking about, the rookies, who we picked up for the new year, and who look prospect.
And thanks a lot, Trevor. You know what? I want to talk about who they picked, too, because who was right? Najee Harris. I've been calling it for the last month, and they went out, and they wasted no time to get this guy. This was the guy they wanted. They passed up on, I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but they passed up on a couple linemen, maybe, the guy from Oklahoma State, Tevin Jenkins. They passed up on Landon Dickerson, who was went early in the second round, but I thought Najee Harris was the right pick.
I thought Tevin Jenkins would have been the right pick, so I do think they messed up. But, hey, while we're at it, if you're going to brag about Najee Harris being the Steelers' pick, I'm going to predict tonight.
Hey, you had three
different
predictions, and you didn't get any one of them right.
You took the one that like 99 out of 100 people polled probably could have picked. So I'm going to predict right now. Okay, bold prediction, Nightly Sports Call viewers. Stay with me here. The sun will rise. It might be behind clouds. This is Pittsburgh, but the sun will rise tomorrow, May 4th, 2021. And I'll be back here on May 5th to tell you that I said it would.
It might not rise tomorrow. It's going to rain and going to be cloudy. I got to ask Ray that one.
I said it might be behind clouds. I even accounted for that. But no, I think it was the wrong choice. I mean, Najee Harris, I am skeptical as far as what he'll be able to show year one, because a lot of things have to go right with coaching. New coaches, Clem as the offensive line coach, Matt Canada, Ben Roethlisberger has to want to buy in. All this stuff has to work out with maybe one new starter on the line. Maybe you get Kendrick Green in as your starting center by, if not the start of the season, week 4, week 5. But Najee Harris, I just feel like the impact is going to be blunted in the first year, at least in terms of running the ball. I think where he's going to, I would assume, help them the most or be the biggest upgrade is as a pass catcher. But I just would not have done this. Let me put it this way. If I could have Tevin Jenkins, you find me another, maybe Creed Humphrey in the second round, something like that, and then I get Trey Sermon at pick 87 instead of pick 88 where he went, I would feel happier about the Steelers draft than I do.
You would with those 3 picks instead of getting maybe the second best tight end, who would have been a first-round pick.
In a weak crop.
A lot of teams had him as a first-rounder, had a first-round grade on him. I mean, maybe if he doesn't play this year, he moves up and goes into the first round.
Oh, he's gonna play a lot. I mean, maybe he would have been a first-round pick, yes. It's a good value pick for sure, Freiermuth. There's no doubt that it's a good value pick. But I got people, his nickname's Baby Gronk. I've got people talking like he's the second coming of George Kittle. Pump the brakes a little bit. I think the guy, more than anything, strikes me, based on everything I've read and what little I saw of him at Penn State, it's maybe like Mark Bruner plus, which is a good football player, but by no means some sort of paradigm-shifting tight end like a Travis Kelce or like a George Kittle. But it's a good pick, but it's not like this earth-shattering thing that they did there.
All right, let's go out to Rob in the Hill District. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, that's exactly what I was thinking, man. Tevin Jenkins with the first pick. To Creed Humphreys in the second round and Trey Sermon in the third round. But my thing is, I don't understand Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would rather have them drafted Paris Ford. He might have he's a football player, man. He might have ran a slow 40 time.
You can't run a 4.9 as a safety. You can't run almost a 5 as a safety and expect to get drafted. No one's going to take that seriously.
Listen. Jerry Rice ran a 4.8. A 4.8. If you watch the tape on Paris Ford,
Rob, no question about it. He's a playmaker. But you would think that the Steelers know more about this guy than anyone else. He practiced right next to them for 3 years.
Nor do he quit on the team, and that hurt him. And Tomlin and them said it. They said if it comes down to a player,
if they thought he was worth a draft pick, they wouldn't care what else happened around him at Pitt. They would have taken him. Right. But he ran an almost 5-second 40-yard dash.
Watch he be a star. Watch he be a
you know what? I don't doubt you. I love Paris Ford. I think he's a playmaker. He could be a star. But they could have got him as a free agent.
Wait, why are we Why are we conceding that he could be a star, though? Like, Jerry Rice ran a 4.8, and he's the greatest player in NFL history, arguably. You don't use that as, like, an example for a guy like Paris Ford. I mean, maybe he'll carve out a nice career. I do think he plays faster on the field. It was a very unfortunate pro day, but you can't be surprised at what happened to him, given what happened at that pro day.
It's hard to be a free safety in this league and run a 4.8. You just can't do it. What receiver are you going to stay with? I mean, everyone's going to blow by you. That's the problem there. And look, if the Steelers wanted this guy, they could have probably got him as an undrafted free agent, but they decided to go out and get Lamont Wade instead.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I look at it as if you were Paris Ford, you opted out. Granted, late in the game, I don't think I would have penalized him for that at all. In fact, I personally wouldn't have. If you run an almost 5-second 40, I just don't know what else to say. NFL players are going to blow by you. If you take the wrong angle, they're gone. If you don't close fast enough on a pass, they're gone. This is not the college football world anymore that you're in. And if you run that kind of 40, this is the consequence.
Were you surprised that Ford, or even for that matter, Wade did not get drafted?
No, I was not surprised in Ford's case for all the reasons I just said. In Lamont Wade's case, not especially, not shocked. He is somebody that I think, just physical skill set, I think he has a better chance of latching on in the NFL. Maybe not the traditional size you would want for a guy to play on the outside, but slot corner, I don't know. Either one of the guys could have some success, but I wasn't shocked that either one didn't get drafted.
All right, let's go to our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day, and this is from Josh Yohe. We see him every once in a while on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. He wasn't too happy about the Tom Wilson. I don't think anyone was happy about what Tom Wilson did today. This guy, he should get suspended for the next 3 years for what he did, and we'll show highlights of that coming up at 11 o'clock. But Yohe said since suspensions don't work for a changed man, Tom Wilson, maybe handcuffs will be better. Glad the Caps decided to put an A on his sweater. Embarrassing. Basically what Wilson did was pin a guy down and punch him in the back of the head a few times. So he got a 10-minute misconduct. I'm sure it's going to be reviewed. But, you know, pretty, like Yohe said, embarrassing. Back in a couple minutes. Well, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you let it keep going, vigilante justice is going to be ugly.
All right, we'll talk more about it after the break. Plus, take your phone calls.